Hey guys, and welcome to another Turtle-Twig video. Today, we are going to be looking at the most commonly used teams in Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, and we're going to rate them. We're going to check out their weaknesses and their strengths. So the first team we have is Roserade, Togekiss, Mismagius, Frostlass, Gardevoir, and Milotic. No starter, apparently. So this team is super weak to Ghost, and it has no resistance against it. So that's a big downfall. And it's also super weak to steel, but Milotic does have that resistance to steel, so Milotic will be able to deal with the steel types. But anything that a team is super weak to and has nothing to deal with is 2 points lost. And anything that it has nothing to deal with but not weak to, it's 1 point lost. So what it doesn't have anything to deal with is the flying type. There's nothing that can deal with the flying type. There's nothing that can deal with the rock type. There's nothing that can deal with the ghost type, and there's nothing that can deal with the fairy type. So that's 4 points lost out of 10, which leaves them to 6. Next, the ghost type is super weak against it. The team is super good against the team. So that's 2 more points lost, which gets us to 4 points left. And the flying type is also okay against the team, so that's just going to be 1 point, which gets us to 3 points. And the rock type finally will also be pretty good against the team, but I'm only removing 1 point for that. So I'm going to give this team a 2 out of 10. It's okay, but it can be a lot better. Next, our next team is Empoleon, Luxray, Glade, Lucario, Glaceon, and Dialga. Still, using a legendary I don't like that. I don't like using legendary on my teams, but that's fine. And I'm not going to remove any points of that. Anyway, so the types that doesn't have anything to deal with is fire. We're going to remove 2 points for that out of 10 because it doesn't have anything. Because 2 of its Pokemon, Lucario and Glaceon, are weak to fire, Lucario being a steel type and Glaceon being an ice type. So we're going to remove 2 points, which gets us to 8 points. The team is super weak to fighting, but it does have Glade, which can deal with it. So I'm not going to remove any points for that, since you could just switch into Glade. It doesn't have anything to resist against ground, which is its main downfall, because 4 of the 6 members are weak to ground. So I'm going to remove 3 points from that, which gets us to 5 points left. It also doesn't have anything that can resist ghosts. So I'm also going to remove another 2 points for that, maybe. So that gets us to 3 out of 10. I'm going to give this team a 3 out of 10. Also, I'm being pretty harsh on these teams, if you didn't know. Next, we have Infernape, Staraptor, Gastrodon, Weavile, Magnezone, and Mismagius. Now, it is good against everything. It has at least one Pokemon that can deal with anything. So 10 out of 10 team. I think this team is amazing because it's resisted against everything. Next, we have Torterra, Hanscrow, Frostlass, Bronzong, Oxycroak, and Rotom washing machine form. This team also has resistance coverage against everything. So another 10 out of 10. Our 5th team of the day will be Infernape, Togekiss, Lucario, Garchomp, Snorlax, and Spiritomb. I'm going to go ahead, and it's really weak to the water type, having nothing that can deal with it, and having Infernape being weak to the water type. So that's going to be removing 2 points, which gets to 8 out of 10. It's also super weak against the flying type, having Infernape also being weak for that because it's a fighting type. So that's another 2 points removed. So which gets us back to 6 out of 10. And lastly, it's weak to the fairy type, having Garchomp and Spiritomb being weak to that. So I'm going to remove 2 more points for that, which gets us to a final score of 4 out of 10. Lastly, I'm going to be rating my own team, which I've used on my playthrough on this channel, which consists of Torterra, Staraptor, Luxray, Floatzel, Lucario, and Garchomp. Now, I think this team is pretty good. It's super weak to ice, but it has 2 Pokemon that resist ice, being Floatzel and Lucario. Although it is weak to fighting, Lucario is weak to the fighting type, it being the steel type, and we have nothing that can deal with the fighting type, which is unfortunate. So I'm gonna have to remove up 2 points for that. unfortunately, which gets us to an 8 out of 10. It is also doesn't have anything to deal with the psychic type, but the psychic type being the psychic type, it doesn't have anything good against us, so I'll just remove 1 point for that, which gets us 7 out of 10. Lastly, it doesn't have anything that can deal with the fairy type, and Garchomp is also weak to the fairy type, which but the fairy type technically isn't in this game, but I'll still remove 2 points for that, which gets us to a final score of 5 out of 10. So, going back, the best teams that we had is Team 3, Infernape, Staraptor, Gastrodon, Weavile, Magnezone, Mismagius, and Team 4, Torterra, Honchkrow, Frostlass, Bronzor, Toxicroak, or Rotom. So if you want to know what team you should use, this is the team you should use. Thanks for watching, and subscribe.